This is a call for vengeance. Welcome to today's show. I'm still at it. I'm still going strong, and I'm still seeing the same signs and symbols that we see over and over and over again. And almost like serial killers, who were obviously psychopaths, right? Even though most of the actual serial killers that we know and are celebrated, the Charles Manson types of the world, actually all come through the CIA. It's done by design Manchurian candidates. But the whole mindset we know of a serial killer, right? We've heard about, are there serial killers out there that, almost want to be caught? Like they would call the police and taunt to the police because they want you to see them. They want the attention. Well, it's almost like the elites use these musicians and they tell us exactly what they're doing. Obviously, these musicians, like the psychopaths they show us this stuff over and over and over again, and they can't get enough of showing their eyes, showing goats, showing all sorts of things, including black goo, which I'll show you. So I wanted to do a video because this was trending number 8 worldwide. And if you go to YouTube Trends, which I often do because I like to see what propaganda and what narratives they're pushing towards the youth out there, because the only people that go to YouTube trending are, of course, young, impressionable people. But in today's world, actually adults go there because they're very impressionable still. And there was somebody named Belinda trending in a song called Cactus. And if you've been around for any period of time, well, you're going to see a lot of the same signs and symbols, but really important ones in reference to Black Goose. So this is only trending, which everyone has to understand, because they want it to trend. Nothing trends organically, okay? It's not allowed, especially this day and age. But nobody out there, if you have a nice voice and you're thinking that you're going to be the next American Idol, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not going to happen, okay? But Belinda here is doing her bidding for her, global friends, her elitists, her, satanic partners in crime. And I have to show you this music video. So let's take a look at Belinda, and the song is called Cactus, if you want to call it a song. So Belinda, of course, let's just take a look at who Belinda is, because of course the majority have no idea, because I didn't either. Belinda is apparently an artist, right, who loves holding his or her hand up over their eye, because of course Belinda was a failed optometrist as well. So we're just going to play peekaboo real quick with Belinda, because these are some of the posts that Belinda's made on her its Instagram account, its Facebook account, on magazine covers, etc. Loves putting its hand over its eye, even has t-shirts on that have all seeing eyes on it. Just normal stuff, pentagrams, etc. Of course, we have Belinda wearing horns on her head. Of course, that's natural, right? I think, don't you guys normally, when you're out and you see, elk and they shed their antlers, don't you usually want to go over, pick them up and wear them on your head? If you don't, you're obviously not a normal person. So we obviously see all the occult tie-ins with Belinda, and that makes perfect sense from what we're about to see and what I'm about to show you in the video, because it starts off, of course, we see Belinda and we see all-seeing eye symbolism as well in the video, right? You see this poster with 2 eyes, but of course ripped out conveniently are a bunch of 1-eye symbols all around it, in case you didn't happen to see it. And of course, what do you think the next thing that happens is? Well, we cut to a goat. And of course we cut to a goat. Didn't you know that Belinda, in addition to being a failed optometrist, is also a goat herder? She's into goat yoga, she's into goat fashion, she's into kissing goat, all sorts of goat obsession, right? And by that, of course, she means greatest of all time. Nobody could identify Belinda out of a lineup. Nobody's ever heard of Belinda. So somebody wants to use the goats in here as a reference to, thinking she's the greatest of all time. Guess again. So what is the reasoning for it? Well, of course, because she worships Baphomet, just like all of them do, right? They worship a goat with breasts and a penis, which is part of the reason that you're seeing them tell us that genders don't exist anymore. You seeing how all this stuff works? And of course, we see the goat with all-seeing eye symbolism with 1 eye, and they do goat jump cuts throughout the video as this video goes on. If you want to call it a video, it's more like, a garbage pail on screen. But as this progresses, we see goats, we see Belinda, we also see a ritual circle. So this giant circle that's on fire, you might say, I don't understand what this is. Well, it's a circle, right? Right, but when you watch movies like The Craft or anything that's a movie that you think is fiction that involves witchcraft, you always see this big circle. So there must be something to it, right? You think all the people who make this fictional films, all these fictional movies about witchcraft, they always use a giant circle with like a pentagram in it, right? Even the logo for the Satanists who don't worship the devil, of course, use this giant circle, this magic circle, right? Well, she's inside of this circle as it's inflamed. And of course, we've seen that circle at CERN. We see it all over the place, right? It's just circles. They love shapes, That's all. It's coincidental, right? So what do we see? We see this thing inside of this magic circle. Then suddenly we see some guy with her, and it looks, what is that? Oh, this guy's rubbing some black goo on her arms. Now, what did he do? Did he just change his oil? Is that what it is? Because I don't know, where are we going here with the artistry of this song? This song is it's called Cactus, by the way. So keep that in mind because it's going to get funnier with this black goo. So it's called Cactus, and randomly they're in the middle of nowhere in a giant ritual circle, and this guy's shirt is off, and he's rubbing oil from his leaky car engine onto her arms, right? Is that what we're supposed to believe? Is that what this is for the common folk? Or are they just seeing this going, they have no idea what's happening? Well, that's usually what it is, because these people don't have any idea what's happening, but you're in the middle of a ritual, okay? And some of you may be really in the middle of this ritual because you probably have this black substance already inside of your body. So the black goo, if you're not familiar, they show it to us all the time. She doesn't happen to also be a fan of Venom, okay, or Eminem or Lady Gaga. They always show us this black goo, this black substance. Well, what can it be? Well, some of us like to believe, because we know, that it might be this thing called graphene oxide. Okay, a lot of people are getting it inside of their body, and what it does is it, takes a human being and it changes them. It turns them into something else, as you're going to see throughout this film. This music video. So, as she's inside the circle, this guy's got his chest, he's got black goo coming off the chest, right off of his nipples. Crying the black goo tears. We've seen the black goo tears with Billie Eilish. We've seen a lot of these celebrities using black goo, and they just go, oh, they have runny mascara, is what it is, right? Just as, drawn on this guy's chest is perfectly normal, right? So it goes on, and she's now like just bathing in the black goo, kind of like Billie Eilish or Lady Gaga have done. They've all done it, so if you want to tell me it's art, think again. Of course, you can see it's almost like she's wearing I don't know if it's a wedding dress or a funeral gown, but it's one and the same as she's partaking in this ritual inside of black goo. And it gets more interesting as we see a cowboy who then, what's his excuse, right? Is he going to play football? He's got black goo rubbed underneath his eyes, on the top of his lip, on the tip of his nose. Is he maybe transforming from being a human being into something else? As of course, the gigantic full moon, because, the moon, everyone goes, oh, yeah, the moon, or witches love moons, right? As the moon shines above, what do we see towards the end of the video? We see what looks like spikes coming out of Barf Bag Belinda. Now, could these be referenced to spike proteins? I mean, excuse me, I forgot I'm on YouTube. I mean, this is a cactus, right? So this whole thing with, black goo and spikes, you could connect the dots at this point as to what she's referencing, right? She's now transformed inside of a magic circle because it's really just a gigantic satanic ritual, right? Involving graphene oxide, which is the black goo inside of people with spikes. And look at all these spikes popping out of her, right? Now, where is people are going to see this and they're going to say, no, you got it all wrong. Belinda grew up on a cactus farm. So the whole thing with Cactus is about her love of cactus plants, cacti, right? She rolls around in needles all the time. You see, even in her face, you can see the mutation around her eyes with the spikes. Very similar, we've seen that before with Lady Barfbag, when Lady Barfbag was on Jay Leno's show, or one of the Tonight Show propaganda programs had her face also have, what looked like a mutation in the face. Well, that's because these people are no longer human beings. You understand where we're going? You see, when they tell you they have the ability to edit your genetic structure, right? Does anyone out there get it? They have the ability to put stuff in you that can manipulate your DNA. So when you hear your DNA, right, all these crime shows, all these ancestry shows, your DNA is unique to you. Until, of course, you let certain things inside of you that could change your genetic code. Okay, so that's what Belinda, who loves to put her hand over her eye, who loves goats, who loves giant circles lit on fire. This isn't a witch. This isn't Satanism or sorcery. This is just art, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, the black goo is just referencing her favorite color, black, and maybe a time where she painted her walls black with black paint. She said, I remember a time where I painted my walls with black paint. I'd love for some guy with his shirt off to have black goo coming down his nipples, and then I'd love for him to rub the black goo on me as cacti comes out of my body. Is anyone paying attention? I mean, really, are we at this point? Now, I know people listen to my channel are paying attention because you're smart, you're educated, you understand. We're all on the same page. But imagine being one of these sheeple that sees this and they actually think with this full moon and this magic circle as they flash Baphomet goats in front of you, that she's covering herself in black goo as, of course, spikes come out of her body. I mean, how can you not see it? The writing is on the wall. The writing is right in front of your faces. So this is Belinda Cactus. This is trending by design. This is actually a form of magic being performed on the audience because music itself is a form of magic. But using the vision, the imagery like this and doing things like jump cuts with Baphomet over and over throughout the video is spellcasting. So they're having this shown to them because this is exactly what's happening to them. And like I referenced earlier, serial killers love, we're told at least that they love to, let the police know and give them hints and call them and mock them and tease them. Well, it's the same thing. This is what psychopaths do, right? So the handlers who control Belinda are sending a message out to the audience, who we could all guess the majority of Belinda's audience is already mutating along with, well, Belinda, but we can't really believe Belinda really has it. But then again, Belinda's probably not human, let's be real, right? So Belinda showed us her love for putting her hand over her eye because that's real original, right? The collages we've seen of all the celebrities putting their hands over their eyes, we're not supposed to be suspicious. We're supposed to just go, what's the big deal? They say lights, camera, action. Don't we all naturally put our hand over our eye over and over and over again like Belinda? I mean, Belinda, she loves Christmas. She's all about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Blitzen. So, when Belinda sees a pair of antlers, she's just very excited to put them on her own head, right? Because that makes sense, right? As they show us Baphomet as she's in the circle with the black goo and a full moon and has spikes coming out of its body. Can't make this stuff up, folks. So easy to see for those with eyes to see and ears to hear. I thank everybody for being here. I hope you're all doing well. Share this video. Try to educate people. It's real simple for people that don't get it. Belinda just showed you. I don't think Belinda's too bright. So, I think if you're an audience member of Belinda's, if Belinda knows, Belinda's showing you could probably figure it out. Maybe you just don't want to, but that's what's happening right now in our world. Spike-a-doodle-doo. Thank you for being here, everybody. God bless you and your families, as always.